Hello. Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmie from Emmie Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So, I was going to head downstairs. I was just trying to clean up all my cards and stuff. And then Michael said, "Where are you going?" Downstairs? No, he said no. Oh, okay, hold on. I'm sorry. I was chatting with my son. Um, Sorry, guys. All right. All right. So, yeah, no, he said that I had been putting off doing another Blu-ray reading, which I have. Yeah, no, I have. Absolutely. I have. I've been putting it off. I didn't want to do it. And now, fucking shit. I'm going to do it. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Oh, my head just started to hurt. God, this card fell out. All right, that's fine. Whatever. 5, 6. Oh, 7. 7. I need one more. 7. All right, let's just start pulling cards. This is for Blu-rays. Blu-rays, empaths, those of us who have some sort of purpose in this life to help humanity ascend. This is for y'all. This is for us. This is for us. So I was asking Michael what this reading is going to be about because the last time I did a Blu-ray reading, um, that went bonkers real quick. That went real bonkers real quick to the point where I took it down. I took it down. Yeah, no, I took it down. It was a little too much for my own personal comfort level. Yes, yes. Let me just get the other decks. Other decks. So with this, I'm wondering why this is the point where things get interesting. Um, the last one was talking about how there are ancient energies that are being called up from the deep. These energies probably um, are things that, I don't know, you know, evil of things. Yeah, because I felt really sick thinking about it. So let's see. This deck is so hard to shuffle and pull from. It's so slippery. Slippery. All right, guys. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we're set. We're set. So let's start. Card number 29, one of the 8 classes of demons. What the fuck? I got this because it's supposed to be Buddhaic, like peaceful. One of the 8 classes of demons. Choose positive thoughts that will chase away the devil. Y'all, fucking A. Like, I'm not joking. That's what it says. Okay. This is about to go. See, that's why I'm kind of nervous to do Blu-ray readings at this point. I don't want to be associated with that kind of information. That's so uncomfortable. The 8 manifestations of Padmasambhavas. Padmasambhava. Okay. The lotus born one. A great teacher is a treasure. Seek to find one. Oh, shit. Okay. So these two cards together, the 8 manifestations and one of the 8 classes of demon. Okay. I mean, the numbers coinciding, that's not a coincidence. That's not a coincidence. I've always maintained because people have had this logic of like, I once knew someone who was like, I'm a demon slayer. How do you kill something that's energy? You can't. You can't kill something that's energy. Um, Whatever they thought they were doing, it wasn't slaying nothing. As long as something continues to serve a purpose within creation, it is allowed to continue to exist. Things that no longer serve a purpose are not allowed to exist. The things that no longer serve a purpose are taken back to 0 point, torn apart, coding energy neutralized, and recycled back to neutral, back to be used for creating new things, So it's this thing of the message that I'm getting instantly is that 8 lessons, 8 teachers. I've always maintained that, demonic things, parasitic things, um, exist to kind of trigger you, push you into a place of growing, a place of awareness expansion. So, this is going to be something that's challenging you. Why is it challenging you? Well, because you're being pushed to grow. This growth has to be earned. This is the type of growth that it's going to be a little bit difficult. It's going to be a bit of a challenge. You will get through it. Okay. Keep your head up, keep your chin up. You will get through it. Promise. Um, Maybe I should promise. I don't know. I don't know. Uh, Card number 20, Father of the 5 Buddha families. You are fine just the way you are. Ooh, that doesn't sound good. You are fine just the way you are. What is the message for that? What are they trying to? Because when you have those 2 cards and then this card comes out, what is this about? So it's card number 39, card number 29. That's raising you up 10. From 29, you go to card number 20. That's lowering you by 9. 9 being the number of divinity. That's taking away, diminishing your divinity. Um, you're fine just the way you are. I didn't get a good feeling from this card, and it kind of makes me feel weird that I didn't get a good feeling because normally I would take this as a very um self-love type of message. I don't right now. It feels like no, you don't have to grow. Don't 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 accept the challenge of this level of growth. It's just not worth it. You're not worth it type of feeling. And that's such a lie. You are absolutely worth it. Whatever process your soul puts you through to create um potential for growth, you're worth it. And I'm not saying this is someone like, oh, I'm worth meditating. I fucking lived in a parking lot for 5 months to grow. 5 months. It took me to release my resistance to my own path. I was worth that. I was worth that struggle of inconvenience. We didn't really struggle. It was more inconvenient. I felt like a big vacation. Um, and I think that's why it took 5 months. I really do. I think if we really, really, because the kids were never hungry, it was hot as fuck. There was no electricity, none of that. But we were still able to make do. We were still able to make do, and it was worth it though. I don't know. Michael's like, I have this habit. He's telling me this. I have this habit of making less of situations that are super profound. Um, I guess, yeah, it was a profound experience. I mean, I don't know. Shit, time passes no matter what. That's my logic. Time passes no matter what. We're not going to be stuck here forever. Eventually, I'm going to learn whatever it is I'm supposed to learn, and then we're going to be out of this. And then what? It's no biggie. And he says, I'm robbing you of an opportunity for an aha moment by toning down the severity of that experience. Because realistically, if pretty much anyone else was in that situation, it would be a big ass deal. To me, it's like it's not a big deal. Really, the kids always had food. We weren't ever in a like questionable, unsafe situation. It was inconvenient. Whatever. Okay. So, card number 19, balanced forces. Creation is attempting to reestablish balance at this point. This balance is super important for all of humanity. All of humanity. Blu-rays, you're here to reestablish balance, not reestablish balance in in the way you think. Um, it's not what you're going to. It's not what you assume it to be. It's not going to play out in the way that you're thinking. Okay. Um, I found that I found that soul has a tendency to be more about very, very watered down experience, very mild compared to your expectation, or extreme on the other side of the spectrum. Um, it never plays out the way you're expecting it will. It doesn't. It doesn't. So release that expectation. Allow yourself to move forward in whatever way your soul is asking you to move forward. Whatever feels most right for you. Not what you think you should feel is right, but what actually feels right. So, card number 38, new blueprints. Mm. Mm. I don't. Oh, shit. This is profound. Okay. Card number 38, blueprints. 3 being the number of a solid foundation, 8 being the number of reunification. For the Blu-rays who are in some sort of elevated position to serve in a more profound way, not saying you're better, not saying you're more important, but saying you're more able to serve in a much more profound manner. Um, this new blueprint is coming about because uh, there's energy coming in, and the energy coming in is going to be some sort of merger type of thing. This ties into twin friend ray information. Um, hmm. So this comes up from the sacral all the way up to the throat, sacral all the way up to the throat. Notice how her hands, her palm spheres, toroidal spheres in the palms, are full active. This is a major thing. This is a major event. This is about bringing forward very, very potent manifestation energies. This is about harnessing Christic, Oraphim type energies. This goes beyond God fire type of clearing level energy. Um, this is intense. It is definitely a very very intense thing. Now, what makes it even more intense, because you go from 38 new blueprints to card number 26, full spectrum. Uh-huh. So 26, 38, the difference between the two is 12. 12 being the number of you taking those first steps on that journey that you know you've needed to take. So, full spectrum, you're not just going to be tapping into Blu-ray energy anymore. We're raising it up. Um, I don't know how I would explain this without sharing information that's not appropriate for me to share. Give me just 1 second. I need to have a little powwow with my boo over here. So, like, how much information? Ooh, that's a lot of information, dude. So, like, is it safe? He says it's safe. All right. You better shield my ass. Not my front, but my ass. My flapjack ass. Shield the shit out of that flapjack ass. So, if you look here, There's 4 skulls, okay? 4, well, actually 3 skulls, and then this one, we don't know if that is, um, an actual head, like, not a skull, not the structure, but the actual skull, like, head, the whole head. So the information he's sharing with me, um, there's a new wave of consciousness that's been incarnating on this earth plane for quite some time now, quite a few years. They've been largely hidden away, and this new, like, branch of consciousness, it's the next evolutionary step for our journey to a higher level of understanding. Okay. um I call them, and I don't know if anyone else knows about this, because, like I said, very selective of what conversations with Michael I am willing to share. um So these are the Emerald Sun children. We went from indigo to crystal to rainbow to diamond ray to now Emerald Sun. This Emerald Sun is extremely high frequency. They've been coming into this earth plane for quite a few years now, quite a few years. The diamond rays became more prominent maybe like 5 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, something like that. And it's just one of those things where their presence is shifting, greatly shifting the way humanity's consciousness is experiencing things. The experiences that we're having right now has become much more profound because the presence of the Emerald Sun souls, it's causing so much clarity. We reached a critical, like, threshold moment in 2019. End of 2019, there was a critical threshold that was reached when it came to the number of Emerald Sun souls that have incarnated. um, their presence has accelerated, um, the organic ascension mechanics of the collective whole of humanity. So with that, um, a lot of people's coding is changing. This change is being expressed as new blueprints. As more of these new blueprints, um, are manifesting onto the template, the morphogenetic template, that's ushering in, it's accelerating timelines, it's collapsing certain timelines, merging other timelines, and accelerating, accelerating, accelerating. So with that, things are about to go full on hippie ki motherfucker. Yeah, it's about to go full on hippie ki motherfucker. Hmm. So it ties into twin ray stuff, not twin flame stuff. I'm talking about twin ray specific type of soul connection. We'll tap into that because the card fell out. We'll tap into that when I get to that stack. Card number 41, radical self love. We can only receive love to the extent that we unconditionally love and live the truth of ourselves. This new blueprint is going to um, force you to recognize more of your authentic truth. With that, the more of your authentic truth that comes forward, um, more of your awareness will be expanded, and you'll begin to have even further clarity in regards to whatever it is you have been allowing yourself to participate in. Right now, the world we exist within, it is a finely tuned, well-oiled energy soul harvesting machine. That's what I said. I said what I said, and I will fucking say it again. The world we currently live in is a fine tuned, well oiled energy and soul harvesting machine. And really, those who are, you know, indigo all the way up to Emerald Sun, we're here to be the deconstructors. Okay. And the only way you're going to deconstruct this social machine is by no longer participating in the things that feed the machine. So, with that, you're going to need to know what's feeding the machine, what's causing it to go forward, to continue existing. A lot of that is fear based. A lot of that is a sense of obligatory stuff. A lot of that has to do with um, just really forcing people into compliance through shame, through fear, through intimidation, through all sorts of like really cowardly fucking behaviors. If you are participating in that, you are feeding the machine. When you continue to shame someone for not agreeing with a popular stance, the popular lifestyle, the popular political whatever, um, you're feeding the machine. We have to stop feeding this machine. We cannot continue to complain about how horrible life is as we continue to feed the very monster that's making our life horrible. So, new blueprints, full spectrum. That's some good shit. That's some really good shit. Radical self love, allowing yourself to see the truth of who you are and not be ashamed of it. Allowing yourself to exist in your most authentic state possible as the most authentic expression of your divine truth. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. Stop wasting your time trying to wake people up. No one is fucking asleep. No one's asleep. We are at varying stages of self remembrance, acceptance, self realization, and self actualization. Rushing someone is not going to make them understand this more. Trying to force them to see that you have done the research and you know more, that doesn't do shit. That feeds the machine. What are you, a spiritual fact checker? Do they have those? I think they do. Hmm. Hmm. Michael's telling me to share with you guys something. Where's my phone? Here it is. Something that I commented, posted on social media. Let me just send my child some funds. Um, he needs to eat. Okay, I'll send it to him afterwards. Michael goes, not right now. My goodness. Don't be that way. I have to find the post. It's on my Facebook. Let me let me see. Where the hell is it? Where the hell? Okay. Some people don't want your input. Like they make these posts of how, they're spreading truth and blah, 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 blah. They don't want your input. They're hoping you respond so they have someone to argue with to prove they are right. There's no point. There's no point in trying to be someone else's teacher until they've reached a level of self rediscovery, until they reach a level of emotional, mental, and spiritual maturity. They will not have the ears to hear and the eyes to see whatever it is you're presenting them. I can speak about so many different topics, and I can use the most profound means of expression, archaic language, really romanticizing, carefully selecting the vernacular with which I articulate these concepts. But that doesn't mean shit. Unless you're able and willing to understand, to take it in, chew it a little bit, get a taste for it, see how it fits. And yeah, none of that matters unless you accept it, and none of that matters. And I can't control what you accept in or don't. So why would I waste time trying to convince you of how wrong you are? I won't. You believe whatever you want to believe. You grow in whatever way you're supposed to grow. And that's determined by your soul and you, no one outside of you. No one outside of you. And if that's what you need, if that's what your sovereign divinity requires in order to live a dignified existence, why would you ever do the opposite to someone else? Now is the time to conserve your energy. I'm not talking about withholding information. There's this new thing that's going around on my spiritual circles that I've been ostracized from. They don't like me very much. It's okay. Um, yeah, no, in some spiritual circles, I've been seeing it kind of circulate on Facebook. They probably thought some of my posts were about them. I promise you it wasn't. You're really not that, you don't stand out that much in my life and my journey that I would post specifically for you. But it was so nicely timed to come after I spoke about it on a live stream about how, people simply continue posting quotes. They don't even really know what the quote means. It's more of like, get a really cool sounding esoteric quote, preferably from like Aleister Crowley, Samael, one of those like really, that was so stupid. One of those names. Put that quote, get a really awesome picture, and boom, spirituality. Boom, right there. There you go. Boom. There's no sharing of your thoughts, your interpretation, how it's affected you, the ways in which it's initiated, become the impetus for your blossoming and unfold. No, put the quote. Make it Alistair. Make it a Crowley quote. Yeah, no, I feel like that's just fuckery. It's fuckery. It's regurgitation without substance. There's no substance to it. And so now I've been seeing quite a few posts. I'm surprised they haven't tagged me. I've been seeing quite a few posts regarding, um, you know, it's immoral of you to withhold information. What the fuck information are you talking? My opinion? My opinion? It's immoral for me to not exercise my sovereignty and choose for myself when I will share my opinion. Because there's information all over the internet. Nothing's being withheld from you. There's so many websites you can go to retrieve esoteric texts. People don't want to do that. They want the convenient meme that gives you snippets of a bastardized version of the actual true pure teaching. They don't want to sift through, they don't want to parse through thousands of pages of ancient text written in a language that's not easy to understand because, I mean, shit, there's a meme, go on Pinterest. Why are you withholding information, Emmie? What? Why am I not sharing private conversations with fucking Mikey over here? Those are private conversations. You want me to share all my conversations with Michael with you? Sometimes we talk about the health of my vajayjay. I'm joking. He goes, no. We've never talked about that. I just wanted to be. Okay, card number 20. Enough. You were born enough. Mhm. Okay. So you are fine just the way you are. You were born enough. 2020. Now that nasty feeling I got from this card, it's gone. It's gone. So the original feeling that I got when this card came up during a period where I was talking about things are going to be changed, not someone else changing it for you, not someone modifying you because you're bad and no, none of that. Your higher self is initiating some sort of rewrite of your moral genetic coding. Now, we're at a place where it's like you just really got to be you. You got to be your most authentic self. You have to stop playing the role. You have to stop trying to create a brand of what? What exactly are you trying to brand? Are you trying to make yourself into some sort of commodity, some sort of product? Like what is it? Okay? So, we have to really allow ourselves to pause, just pause for a moment, really consider what has your goal been this whole time for your growth, for your expansion of awareness. Have you been simply trying to keep up with other people? Because y'all, and yeah, I'm not even ashamed to say this. Years ago, that was like my goal. My goal was to be part of like the cool kids and have those quotes and the really saucy pictures, like the bordering on demonic, but it's still kind of like, ooh, she's edgy. She's smart and she's edgy and she knows like these weird ass people's names that died long time. Yeah, no, that's not a fucking goal. That was my goal at some point way, way back because I didn't have an appreciation for me and my truth as I am. I couldn't wrap my brain around the very fact. This is no longer opinion. This is fact. There is a gravity to my opinions. My opinions were formed through the observation of human experience using the eyes of soul, not the human eyes, but the actual eyes of soul, allowing these perceptions to be cleared, stripped of my human distortions, and then being able to really truly see what is going on in front of us. A lot of people don't want to hear that. A lot of people become uncomfortable when they recognize what I'm talking about because it's not sugar coated. It's not. I mean, are you here to be sugar coated, to attract the ants that bite, to cause cavities within other people? Or are you here to dig deep, anchor in extremely high coding, and usher in um, such an old way of being that it's now considered new? This old way of being is so profound. It is so powerful, profound, very balanced. It supports the entirety of our human existence. No one gets left behind. There's no exclusivity. There's no exclusivity. Okay. Um, hmm. Card number 29, radical self acceptance. You are perceived the way you perceive yourself. And this is true. Part of the rewriting is part of the new blueprints is about seeing yourself down to your core, not stopping at the upper levels, the surface levels of who you think you might be. Because who you think you might be is usually influenced and formed by other people's perceptions of who they want and need you to be. Mhm. It's not the truth of your identity. Only you can know that. No one else can know that outside of you. Some people might get snippets, they might get some ideas of what it possibly could mean. There's no way to really accurately assess how accurate they are. So don't bother. Really pause. Have conversations between self and soul, a dialogue, not a monologue. Things are about to get very, very interesting because all sorts of shit is popping off. Hold on. What deck? He's like, why are you speaking so aggressively? You don't get to ask me questions, sir. I didn't hear you. What deck? What deck? Just tell me what deck, sir. What deck? Okay, how about this? I'm not pulling out another fucking deck until you tell me exactly what deck. Okay. Card number 37, focus on the light. We are currently in a dark period. This dark period that we're existing within is to help us see exactly what our light means. Okay. A lot of us have been conditioned, have been kind of um, crunched down by life. Um, so that we can fit nicely in these boxes to make other people feel comfortable. And because of that, not enough air circulation, right? What happens when you cover a container that's holding a fire, holds a flame? The flame has a tendency to go out, but embers are left. So now it's like we feel so disempowered, we have our embers, and the only way to really understand the gravity of that ember is to experience it in darkness, in a dark environment. Because when you do that, it's one of these things of like, hmm, that's pretty bright. And as you begin to recognize this and you begin to accept yourself as you are, yes, over compartmentalization, that's box upon box upon. I'm sorry, I'm not a fucking Russian nesting doll. People expect you to live like you're a Russian nesting doll. No, no. How about that? How about that? How about no? How about I see the power in being the very tiny doll in the center and I don't need all the other layers? How about that? And no one can tell me different because I don't need external validation. I could be perfectly satisfied and happy, very content with myself, recognizing how small I am. How about that? Focus on the light. What is the light? You are the light. If you can't find your light, face a sunflower. The sunflowers are the people in our lives who, just like other sunflowers, can be your source of light. So it's said that sunflowers face each other when the sun is not shining. Because I don't know if you've ever noticed a field of sunflowers, they will follow the sun as it goes through the sky. They will turn and move with the sun. But on cloudy days, they face each other. If you can't find your sunlight, find it in the people you trust. Trust them enough to allow yourself to be vulnerable in front of them. So many empaths have such a struggle with this. It's such a simple concept, but so difficult. Oh, so difficult. And why is it difficult? Because we are conditioned to believe that if other people know the places of weakness, if we allow other people to help us, then it somehow puts us at a disadvantage. It now will be this thing of they know how to destroy me. Well, recognize this, just like I had to recognize it for myself. That very logic is a weakness. Do you know how much courage and unrecognized personal power it takes to allow someone outside of you to know exactly where they can destroy you easily and quickly? And people might be like, well, how is that a powerful thing? You just told the enemy where they can destroy you. Well, what if I told you if you're able to do that, then you already know on some level? No, they can't. Not even if you know where my soft parts are, will you be able to destroy me. Oh, that was a good one. Michael is like showing me this visual of a lioness. I mean, if you go for the face, if you go for behind, she can probably turn back around, like whip around and maul the shit out of you. If you take her head on, she will legit maul the shit out of you. She has soft spots. Her throat is a vulnerable spot. Her belly is a vulnerable spot. She doesn't hide in the bushes because she has vulnerable spots. No, she doesn't. No, she doesn't. When she goes out on a hunt, if the if the herbivore chooses to kick her in the belly, which can sometimes that's not a good thing. Sometimes that can really injure them. I've seen a video where one of the lionesses got kicked in the head by a water buffalo. She didn't stop. She fucking didn't. She took that shit down, cracked skull and all. She took it down. She took it down and she held it down until the other lionesses in her pride came. You best fucking believe she did it. No fear. And even if she was afraid, she kept pushing forward. You have to be your own lioness at this point. You have to have no fear of maybe, possibly, I might get a boo boo. Like, no, keep pushing forward. If you get hurt, we'll fix it, but keep pushing forward. You don't stop because of maybe, possibly, like, I don't know, maybe. Mm-mm. Even if it's a maybe, that's not enough for me. Even if it's a maybe, that's not enough for me. I have to actually witness it before it becomes a reality for me. I won't just accept someone else's words. I have to actually see it playing out with my own eyes, hear it with my own ears, see it, whatever. It has to be witnessed by me. And even then, oftentimes I'm not afraid. Oftentimes I'm not afraid. Dylan, I'm sorry, but that's a lie. I used to love that meme where it was like, it was showing one wolf, she was supposed to be the she wolf, crouched down, looking like she's scared. And the he wolf, yeah, the alpha male is like, and she's like under him. And no, the people who actually took that picture, they weren't fighting. She wasn't protecting him. They don't protect each other in that way. Fucking killed me when I saw that. When I read that article, I was like, y'all are fucking dream killers. Card number 7, Legacy of Light. You come from a legacy of light. Allow yourself to exist in center as the adult soul, able to tap into that inner child as well as receive communication from that elder soul. You are complete in yourself. You do not need someone, something outside of you to be whole. Let go of that absolute asinine bullshit of a teaching that tells you you are flawed, that you are broken, that you are missing components. That shit riles me up so fucking quick. You are not broken. You are not missing pieces. Oh, I mean, I'm not saying I'm broken. I'm just missing my other half. That's broken. When you're missing a part of it, it's broken. When my kids' toys are missing a component, it's broken. Sorry that I'm not sorry. Card number 41, bring it into form. We are bringing something else into form. There's something else. It does involve twins. Okay. Let me lick the salt off my teeth. It does involve twins, but not in the way that we think. Twins are a very real phenomenon. Not for everybody though. Okay? Not for everybody. Trying to say everybody has a twin. Yeah, no. Not everyone has a yeast infection. You have a yeast infection, not everyone has a yeast infection. Just because you experience that doesn't mean I'm having that. Okay? It's this like, well, person, everyone has to have. No, no. I'm highly intolerant of gluten, yet you're still fucking eating gluten. How fair is that? So just because you believe in twin flames does not mean I need to believe in the same thing. It is a real concept. It is a real phenomenon, but not in the way that we are being taught. So with that, here comes the twin flame card. There you go. Card number 11, diving for light. Dive very, very deep. There's a reconnection taking place with an emphasis on communication with the vocal cords, communication with the intuition for select pairs. Select pairs. Um, or a merger is needing to reoccur. 100% at 848. 42, 58, 65, 39, 38, 29, 11, 20, 41, 33. That's a whole fucking story in itself. Dive for light. If you want to find that sacred fire, dive deep yourself. Dive very, very, very deep within yourself. Dive past all of your own personal bullshit. We are all full of our own version of bullshit. Let's be real here. Let's be real here. There is not a single person in this world that is bullshit free. Not a single person, myself included. There are so many things that I allow to get into my head, creating so much internal chaotic bullshittery. I like for real. Hmm. For real. It has to do with my personal perception being distorted by what? The insecurities that I'm too afraid to face, that I'm too afraid to face and resolve, because you can't resolve something that you're unable to face. Have you ever tried to do an appendix removal with your blindfold on? That will probably end badly. That will probably end badly. You need to be able to face something to actually be able to assess what it is. You can't implement a solution if you don't know what you're trying to solve. So now it's time for you to dive very, very deep. Find all of those insecurities that still exist. And I promise you, even if you think like, oh, I've already worked on those insecurities, I'm just super confident in myself now. Boo. That's just hilarious to me. You know why? You know why? When I was a lot younger, I had so many people tell me because I would always be dolled up, super polished, high fucking heels on all the time. Like, people be like, oh, you're so intimidating. You're just so confident. It's like intimidating. Why was I always dolled up? I'm sure you know the answer. I always had makeup on, dolled the fuck up. Like the outfit had to be crisp and poppin'. Heaven forbid, heaven forbid. Shoes had to be on point because I was fucking insecure. Yeah, I was insecure like a motherfucker. Yeah, no, for real. Because so many people put such an emphasis on this that I felt like if I didn't maintain this, oh my God, I will lose some sort of value and people won't want to be around me. That was a really stupid period of my life. It was. It was a really, really stupid period of my life. Taking 2, 3 hours to get ready to go grocery shopping. Are y'all fucking kidding? 2, 3 hours? Are y'all kidding? That's 2, 3 hours every day. Not to go to work, to go grocery shopping, to go deliver mail to the mailman. And people be like, oh, you were like so. Are y'all fucking kidding me? There was no confidence there. None. I couldn't even be my weird self. I couldn't even share these profound thoughts because I mean, oh my God, no, people will think I'm weird. Yeah, let me just hold my fucking purse like this. Here I go, fucking up my elbow and my wrist. Or like this. I can make fun of myself. I'm not making fun of anyone else. I'm making fun of myself because it was just fucking crazy. That was a crazy period. Crazy how many years where so much of my value was placed on things that are really insignificant. Insignificant because the reality of it is my face will change as I grow. I'm not willing to get surgeries or cosmetic procedures. It's going to be whatever the fuck it is. It's going to be whatever the fuck it is. And it's going to stay that way. So if the face is going to change, my value is going to change. No. You know why? Because my value is in here and in here. No one can ever take that away from me. It will never degrade. It will only continue to improve and ripen like a fine wine, like a forever blooming flower. For every petal that falls, every layer of pretense, um, misunderstanding, insecurity, every single petal of that falls, a new petal takes its place. One that's very fresh and supple, flexible in its ways, very soft. And that softness, that soft expression of truth, not being seen as some sort of weakness. Because I used to think, like, why would I ever want to be considered a flower? Flowers are so soft and weak. You ever seen a rose bush? Have you ever tried to pick wildflower? Because I'm a wildflower. I grow haphazardly in whatever fucking way I please, knowing that all the components necessary for my continued growth is naturally provided. I don't have to blossom at a certain time. My blossoms don't have to look a certain way. I don't need chemicals to modify the way I grow. Did you know that when a plant is healthy, the soil is healthy, it does not get attacked by parasites? How poetic is that? I was speaking to the owner. Where's my? Oh, it's right here. I was speaking to the owner of Durango Botanicals. This, I swear by this fucking CBD. I was speaking to the owner, and Stefano was talking about planting stuff, farming, growing things. And he shared that with me. And I was like, yeah, that's so profound. When the soil is healthy, the plant is healthy. When the plant is healthy, there's no need for synthetic involvement. When you allow the soil with which you are rooted in to become healthy and rich, there's richness in that decay. The things that decay in your life, yeah, you might spend a period mourning it, mourning the loss of it, but in reality, there's a richness to that. The things that break down and fall apart, the things that rot away, there's such a richness to that. It adds to the nutritional value of your soil. But if you're too ashamed that, you can't have a social media worthy life, I tell you, all of those people that go out of their way to portray this lifestyle of lavish luxury, are they really happy? Are they really happy? Do you guys know why I don't do pre-recorded videos? Do you guys have any ideas as to why I only do live streams? I'll tell you why. I am not going to spend any moment of my time trying to edit shit in my life. You get what you get. If it comes out of my mouth, it comes out of my mouth. I hold myself responsible for that shit. I'm not perfect in that way. I'm perfect in a much different way, a way where I can be my most authentic self, most perfectly me, rough around the edges, because that roughness around the edges is a perfect medium to shave off all of that pretense layer that exists within human hearts. I'm not supposed to be polished. Polished is only good to look at. Rough around the edges, that creates enough friction. Rub away all of that hardness in your heart, allowing your heart to function the way it was created to. And y'all, don't get it twisted though. I know how to be fake. I know how to be polished. I know how to speak in a way that is sugary sweet and will draw you in and cause you to be so loyal to me for forever. I'm a fucking Pisces, please. But do I want to be that? Or do I want to be an embodiment of a solution for a problem that I see? Because again, you can't implement a solution if you don't know what you're solving. I see what the problem is. The reason I saw what the problem is because I lived that problem. And the day I took a good hard look at myself was the day I recognized what the solution needed to be. And it took me quite a few years to implement a solution that I had already identified as a feasible solution: authenticity. I'm not talking about manufactured authenticity, because when I started speaking about this several years ago, now so many, oh, yes, you have to be authentic. Bitch, you ain't authentic. What the fuck are you talking about? I mean, I don't know you, but your energy's snitching you out. You don't believe a word you're fucking saying. Did you Google this? What the fuck? Where'd you Google it from? It's good content. But I know it's not true to you, so it's a lie. So, card number 33, Heaven Sent. Allow yourself to receive the messages from your own soul. It's communicating with you. Again, this ties back for some to the whole twin connection thing. This twin message is not for everybody. I want to make that very, very clear. I do not want to give you a false sense of hope for someone very, very toxic to you, abusive and dismissive to you and your needs, give you some sort of false hope that they're coming back. Because I'm real and I love you, I hope they never return. Whoever hurt you so badly that you develop this need for them to come back and continue to hurt you, because I love you and my love is an authentic type of love, I have no hesitation looking you in your eyes and telling you, I hope they never come back, because you deserve so much more than that. So much more than that. And don't let some stupid string of letters that form a stupid concept allow you to allow someone else to shit on you in that way. Fuck that. You don't need that kind of shit. Even if that's your real twin, then you don't need a twin. Fuck that. You deserve so much more than just this romanticized concept of, oh, but they're my twin, they're my other part. You're whole in yourself. You are whole in yourself. Stop the nonsense. Card number 23, defend to the end the worthwhile. And it's a funny thing because as Blu-rays and empaths, we have zero hesitation defending to the end everyone else. You have a problem, I'll defend you. I'll fight for you. You need something, someone's picking, I'll fight for you. Tell me who. Give me some names, I'll fight for you. And then it comes to you. Well, it's no big deal. Oh, I don't think they meant it. Well, they were probably having a bad day. Well, they probably misunderstood. Well, it can be annoying sometimes. No to all of that. You did something, I'm holding you accountable. Oh, no, but I didn't mean it. Like, no, that's what you said. That's what you said. Oh, no, you're twisting what I wrote. No, I'm pretty sure I'm literate. I'm pretty sure I can fucking read. I read the words that came out of your fingers several times before I formed my feelings in response to what you wrote. I know exactly what you said. Please don't add insult to injury by insulting me and then telling me I am not smart enough to understand what you wrote. No. No. You wrote what you wrote. Own that shit. And if you can't own it, delete it. But I already took a screenshot. uh, Capricorn moon. Thorough as a motherfucker. Before I even responded, I took a screenshot. Just in case you forget somewhere along the line, down the ways, you forget that you attempted to claw the shit out of me with words. Bitch, this is the second time I got a screenshot of the first. I'm just saying, no, because now I recognize I'm worth it. I'm worth defending myself. I am a good fucking person. I'm a good person. I go out of my way to help whoever I can. I'm patient as fuck. I make excuses for people left and right. By the time I form some sort of negative response, motherfucker, you worked for that. You earned every last drop of my venom. Oh shit. No, and then this card comes up. Mm. It's making my eyes sweat. This card came up. Power of attraction. So for some, you're attracting to you divine connectivity. Okay. And then for a select few, which I don't know who the select few are, they come from a specific set of soul families. Okay. This card does indicate a twin ray merger that's occurring. It's already been initiated. Now, I can't control what you do with this information, but I ask you to please, please, please do not make me a part of whatever fuckery you're planning. Hey, like I said, this is for a select few, has nothing to do. I am not referencing romance at all. Um, if y'all want to bump uglies with people, y'all do your whatever it is you're gonna do. As long as it ain't with my husband, that's his choice. As long as it's not something that is intending or is intended to harm me and my family, you do what you want to do. Mhm. I'm totally like, someone really close to me was like, I have to tell you something. I'm like, what? What's wrong? I'm over here thinking it's like some bad shit involving me and my family. And then they tell me some really private stuff about them and their relate. I'm like, bitch, you had me fucking worried. Like you were gonna tell me, like, oh, I found out your man has a love child. It's like, don't be fucking scared of me. What the fuck does that have to do with me? You know I still love you regardless. uh, what kind of merger? Full merger, full spectrum merger. It's right here. Where is it? No, it's over here. Full spectrum merger. A full spectrum, full spectrum. That's a full merger. If you don't know what that means, that means you're re-entering. I'll stop. Oh my god. Michael says no more references to vaginas. What? Yannis are sacred. Why would you ever try and like edit me? Because Yannis are sacred. I love my cooter. I'm sorry, guys. I'll stop. My uterus and my ovaries are at war, and they're both trying to kill me. So I'm very hormonal. Okay, just forgive me. Right now, everything is just all hormones and talks about veggies. It's okay. It's okay. Don't worry. Don't worry. I promise. My vajayjay wants nothing to do with you. Trust me. It doesn't want anything to do with you. Don't worry. It won't harass you. Okay, I'm done pulling cards. Okay, where's the book? Blu-rays. I know. Michael's like, you make a lot of people uncomfortable. I know. Why? We need to normalize talk of vaginas and penises. They're a part of you. Why would you be ashamed? Please stop. Card number 20, Scorpio, I transform. Put your ear down close to your soul and listen hard. Acknowledging desire and surrendering yourself to the depths will serve you best at this time. Scorpios have a bad reputation for ruthless behavior, which is not deserved. Like the other water signs, Scorpio is emotional, but not in the sympathetic way of Cancer or Pisces. You know, like a Chihuahua or a Chiweenie. Stop. Stop. Focus. Focus, girl. Focus. Let's see. Hmm. Scorpios inspire you to tell them your darkest secrets while revealing none of their own. So I'm wondering if this is a message to not be overly generous with the amount of information you share with people. I'm not talking about keeping secrets. I'm talking about allowing your conversations to be more of an internal thing than an external. Because what tends to happen for most people when that internal conversation becomes an external one, your process gets muddled. Um, the conclusions that you would have come to would be much different if you thought of things on your own. Okay, because um, everyone interprets things differently. Everyone views things differently. So I could show you something like okay, recently I shared a video about this topic and then there was like this weird ass sound in the background. I didn't even notice the sound. I was like, oh, whatever, whatever. But then um, one of the people that I showed it to recognized the sound. That was their focus. And I was like, oh, there was a sound? Oh yeah, there was that like stupid sound. See what I mean? So and it's not that they took it wrong or anything like that. It's that people will focus on what their attention is brought to. And you can't expect them to always share what your view is. You really can. There's no right or wrong in that. It's just a difference in focus. And if your focus is different, if your point of view is different, it's going to absolutely affect someone else's point of view. Okay. So be selective. When Scorpios feel deeply, they fear the loss of control and they will sting when threatened or cornered. Mm, now's not the time, Michael. People of okay. Um when this card comes up, you're being tested. You may feel isolated and on your own without much sympathy or help from others. If so, it's time to stand on your own and fight those forces gathered against you. Okay? Um so it's normal as a woman of a certain age to regress to a teenage boy's hormonal surge. I mean, I've said it for years. I'm like a 13-year-old boy with massive gynecomastia. I hope y'all don't know what that means. Yeah, no, I've become a teenage boy. I like my poor husband. We were at the store yesterday and I don't know, felt the need to shove my hand from behind between his legs. He goes, "What are you doing?" And because he said something, well, then I'll grab you from the front. I'll grab your crotch from the front. Okay? That's fine. I'm your fucking wife. I've seen that shit. I felt that shit. It's no biggie. And if you're worried about people seeing, they shouldn't be looking at us anyways. I'm just saying. Um, let's see. Mm, ooh, you may have to deal with someone who may plot revenge over something you may not be guilty of. Mhm. It could also be a time where enemies surface, so you would be wise to protect your reputation. Mm, interesting. Interesting. Let's see. Sometimes when this card comes up, it indicates you'll be going through a period of deep self analysis. You may seek out a professional or you may work through this time alone by reading or through reflection. Okay. Okay. Oh, yeah. No, I do that shit to my husband all the time. Tell me you don't. Let me stop. Y'all, I don't know. That's might get me in trouble. Let me just stop. Okay. Let me just stop. Okay. Card number 8, Chiron healing. The wound is a place where the light enters you. Healing must take place before you're able to deal with your matter. Let's see. So in myth, Chiron was a wounded healer and self-enlightened shaman. Let's see. Let us see. Where? This is a card of great transformation. Therefore, in many ways, you are rising from the swamps. Chiron's energy says that once we're able to heal ourselves, we can also take this gift or wound and learn how to restore others. We can mend our wounds when we embrace, process, and understand the gift of illness or dysfunction. Um, card comes up in a reading and it can indicate health matters or that issues of a medical nature may be of concern. Um, this matter may have to do with health concerns, most especially any emotional healing that's needed. You know, all seriousness, this is really a period for quite a few of the most sensitive to experience emotional purging, emotional upheaval. Even if your environment is completely stable and perfectly fine, many of those who are extremely sensitive are experiencing upheaval. Okay. Excuse me. Um, certain sorrows of the deep past may be surfacing, so be careful of repeating old patterns. For the select few who have the twin ray returning back to you to complete second stage mission objectives, like soul mission objectives. Be careful of not simply repeating old patterns. Oh, sorry. Card number 10, Neptune sacrifice. The whole idea of compassion is based on a keen awareness of the interdependence of all these living beings, which are all part of one another and all involved in one another. You're being directed into an area which may feel like it's an unknowable. Surrendering to the mystery may work best now. So, this is really like this is really an indication that you're probably not going to understand what this period is about, how this period is going to play out, and you're going to have to be okay with that. You don't always have to have all the information before you comply with whatever your soul is trying to get you to comply with. Okay. There are certain processes where, unless you don't know what's happening before you step into it, you will not grow in the way you are needing to grow. Okay. And that's just kind of how spiritual journeys go. You can't pre plan everything for a spiritual journey, because if that's the case, you're not going to experience any type of expansion. The truth of awareness expansion is that it takes you from your place of comfort and pulls you out, very uncomfortable. Sometimes it's even painful. So, let's see. This is a time where some may try to manipulate with their crisis and rescue cycles, exhausting friends and family with their many problems. There may be a lack of boundaries and confusion where some may orchestrate their victimhood. Be very certain that the victim is not you. Don't allow yourself to re enter into a place of victim mentality. That will not serve you. It didn't serve you the last time you bought into it. It definitely will not serve you now. It won't. It won't. Like, trust me, I do not like to lie. If it would benefit you, now I'm all about your benefit, I'm all about your growth. If it would benefit you to enter into a place of victimhood, I would totally be like, look, so this is how you're going to do it. It's not going to benefit you. It's not. So let's see. Neptune represents glamour, the word glamour coming from the French word grimoire, and connected to the word grammar, meaning to create magic or to cast a spell. Fucking When it shows in a reading, any spoken words or promises given are either poetry from the gods in higher realms or words which may be lies. This ties into the lower level type of twin connection. A lot of that shit is a lie. A lot of that is a lie. Okay? A lot of it is a lie. So let's see. But more positively, these may be messages from spirits or the tapping into your own higher awareness. When the Neptune card, with the Neptune card, it will be difficult to get to the bottom of the issue. You may see smoke and mirrors, find yourself engulfed in nefarious mists with blame cast on the wrong person or reason. With this card, you want to be absolutely clear and out front with everything. Neptune is a planet of sacrifice, so you may be asked to sacrifice something, usually related to ego, for some greater good. So, Neptune shows where we are vulnerable and also where we want to escape to. Um, Neptune represents self destructiveness and self sabotage. You may be caught in a situation which is unclear. The reasons behind it may not make sense or are being withheld from you. Another manifestation of this card is that you may find difficulties getting on the right path or in clarifying a direction. Let's see. Be careful of trickery and playing emotional games. Whew. If a beautiful person enters your life, test the relationship. He or she may be too good to be true or the love of your life. This planet represents sleight of hand tricks, yet also a supernatural type of creativity. Beware of deception and confusion. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. I don't know. I'm like, what part? What part are you talking about? What part is deception? Hold up, guys. Okay, I get it. I get it. So two parts, two parts, two parts. Again, this card comes up. You're fine just the way you are. So it's kind of this sense that you might be fooling yourself, deceiving yourself into believing um, that you're right about everything. There's no room for expansion. There's no room for kind of shifting the way you see things. It's basically like self denial. You're in denial, is a potential message for some. Now, another thing, it kind of ties into the denial. Um, you are perceived the way you perceive yourself. So there she is, half her chest cut out. So, is there a component that, you could survive without? You could survive without it, but unless it's diseased, there's really no need for it to be removed, right? So, I guess in many ways, it's like a balancing of the message that I give, where it's like you don't necessarily need that twin flame to be complete. But if it is a healthy reflection, a healthy counterpart, you don't necessarily have to cut them off just because I'm saying like you're holding yourself. This is about really assessing your personal, very unique circumstance and the needs that arise from it. Okay. Um, yeah, there's a lot of twin flame mimics. Absolutely. Um, Here's the thing. There's this thing that I hear about more and more where people are like bragging that they have these sexual encounters with their twin flame on the astral. They have these dates, and it's astral is fourth dimension. So, you know what naturally lives anchored in the fourth dimension? Parasites. That's their frequency band. Fourth dimensional consciousness. It's just a step up from the human consciousness. Astral is where they live. Parasites, aka demons. That's where they live. That's where they're contained. And they're one of their most highly developed skills is mimicry, thought inception. Do you really know who you are meeting with on the astral? I don't know. Some mimics are really good. I mean, I've had so many people, and granted, not everyone, not everyone that has this experience. I'm not necessarily talking to you, but I have had quite a few people who have contacted me and have been like, "Oh, you pulled me into the astral, and you were talking to me and telling me this, this, and this, and I should." I would not fucking do that. I'm sorry. No, I did not. That was not me. Oh, but you told me blah 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 blah, and it felt so real. Um, I'm anchored on a completely different dimensional plane of existence. Like my consciousness is not anchored in the fourth. How are you saying that's me? Like if I were to communicate with you out of body, it would not be fourth dimensional. I promise you that. It would not be astral. I promise you that. And it would definitely be a contained thing, very sterile environment. We would not be fucking shopping in an astral plane. I don't think so. Nope, not me. Something's mimicking me, and you should not trust it. You should not trust it. So there goes this whole thing of like blindly trusting and not knowing if what's in front of you is mimicry, is an illusion. You have to really develop your sense of discernment. Like really truly develop your sense of discernment. The moment you begin to just blindly accept things um because someone else told you, and the person who told you sounded like they know what they're talking about, that never ends well. That never ends well. When you begin taking in someone in that way, this is why I'd be telling you guys, don't trust me. Don't be fucking just accepting what I say. Question it. Question it. Because what ends up happening when people try and emulate, they open themselves up to some pretty intense parasitic shit. Oh, okay. There's a tell though, something's not quite right and not, yeah. Yeah. If you allow yourself to be honest, to like really, what is this? What is this? There, it's something you can't quite put your finger on it. Something is just, it's just not quite right. It feels so real, but just something feels weird. Just mildly weird. Is that where archons roam at? I did more research on them. Demiurges. Good, good. Um, archons, yeah, they can occupy that space. Um, they have a tendency to work with quite a few parasitic clusters. I'll call it clusters. They have a tendency to work with quite a few parasitic clusters that occupy fourth dimensional plane of existence. They're slightly higher frequency, not by much, but slightly higher, but they do. So, whatever frequency you're anchored at, you experience all the frequencies beneath. So, parasitic things are anchored in the fourth dimension. We live on the third dimension. They experience everything on our dimension. That's what it is. That's what that is. So yeah, and if you think I'm full of it, yeah, the Vatican released a statement years ago. Their exorcism rate as an is it's at an all-time high. Exorcisms have exploded. I wonder fucking why. Well, because we are rising in our dimensional level of consciousness. People will be like, oh, the goal is 5D. The goal is 5D, motherfuckers. We've been anchored in the 5D for like 2, 3 years now. We have. We've been anchored in 5D for about 2, 3 years now. Well, actually, since 2016. That's like 5 years. Shit, that's been a while. It's 5 years. Um, I became aware of the re-anchoring 2016, winter of 2016. Um, that's why we're seeing, feeling, experiencing much more paranormal activity. We're now anchored in the fifth, so we're experiencing fourth dimensional consciousness. And obviously, our bodies are still 3D, we're still physical. So, yeah, multi dimensional existence. There you go. Okay, guys, that's it. I'm done talking. My throat hurts. It's time to go. Allow yourself to really just examine what your true needs are, not the needs based off of what other people tell you you should need or accomplish or do at this point. Not that, like your true need. What do you really need? What are you missing? Are you missing a sense of like camaraderie? Are you missing this feeling of being supported? Because, those type of things, they can be felt, received on an energetic level. You can still get that. Um, Obviously, it's much more tangible if it's in real life type of connection. It's nice, but you can have that kind of connectivity on an energetic level as well. Don't be so averse to time on your own. How are you ever going to learn yourself when you continue to distract yourself with everyone else's problems, everyone else's energies? You're looking for another person outside of you because you need that twin relationship. Yeah. Some twins are destined to be romantic. That is a part of what they wrote in their plan. I'm not trying to go against that. I'm not trying to convince you otherwise. But you have to be very realistic for you to covet something that really, if they wanted to be there, they would be. And it's just bottom line. If they really wanted you in their lives, you would be in their life. Like, not, I mean, my husband's not my twin, but I really want him in my life. And I will compromise in whatever way I need to. I will bend over in whatever way. Sorry, hormones. I'm so sorry. I got turned perverted. That's not what I meant. It is what I meant, but not for you guys. So I will bend over backwards at times where I feel like that's what's necessary on my end to kind of um, strengthen our bond. And really, there's nothing that's going to keep me from enjoying my life with him. Like nothing's going to tear me away from that. That's where I want to be. So that's where I'm going to be. This is where he wants to be. So this is where he's going to be. If they wanted you in that way, they would make it known. So don't play yourself like that. Don't keep thinking, oh, no, it's because of the evil karmic. Oh, that's even fucking worse. It's an evil karma. So they chose someone less than you? I'm just saying. I hear daddy come into the room. Daddy, I gotta go. I gotta go, guys. Give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. Join me when I'm live. And please, from the bottom of my heart, forgive me and my vajayjay for my hormone issues. I love you guys. I promise I'm not. No, I'm perverted all the time. I'll stop though. I love you guys. Bye.